folks. Well, we're here today. This is our first unboxing I think we've done on BSD now, which is pretty darn exciting. And I haven't cheated. I haven't like pre-unboxed it and looked and put it back together. Like, this is the real deal. It just arrived in the mail this afternoon. I have already cut the tape so you guys don't see me injure myself with a pair of scissors, which is probably bad. So anyway, let's get right to it. This is, of course, the new FreeNAS Mini XL, if you couldn't tell that by looking at the picture already. And before I get started, I'd like to point out the box is pretty darn nice. It's got little handles, about 25, 26 pounds, somewhere in there, be my guess. But it showed up, and I can't wait to open this bad boy up. So I'm going to start unboxing it, and then we'll talk about it here in just a moment. Okay, now I know you can't necessarily see the top here. I'm going to try and lean it down. It's a little big, but you can see some quality packaging up here. It looks like, I'm guessing, some accessories, so let's pull that out. Ooh. Now, this is unexpected. I didn't realize they were sending me one with all the disk drives, but it looks like they did. So take a look at this bad boy. Yes, yes, be very jealous. And I apologize. I'm using the good mic today, so I'm leaning down to talk to you guys so it doesn't get too quiet, but we got a lot of hard drives here. It looks like all 8. Okay, fantastic. Drives are all out. Let's see what's up next. Okay. Now, this is a little tricky here, but let's see if I can do this without making a fool out of myself. Not too heavy, but I almost would recommend, if you're going to do this, get a second person to help you lift it out of the box. It would have looked really bad if I dropped it there, but let's actually see what this unit looks like. Okay, let's see what we got here. Let's get rid of that. And lo and behold, here it is in all of its mighty glory, the new FreeNAS Mini XL, which I'll go through some of the specs of this unit for you here in just a moment. But first, let's just kind of admire it a little bit here. So, let's see. So, with the drive bays open, of course, you can see here we have room for 8, whereas the old Mini had room for 4. So that's a nice improvement. Looking forward to messing with that. We have a couple USB ports right on the front here for convenience. Of course, power, reset, etc. So, pretty standard stuff. Let's take a look at the back here. So, in the back here, looks like power, and then, of course, a couple Ethernet ports. Ooh, it looks like 3. I'm imagining one of these is for, IPMI management. We have another USB port, serial, and then, of course, VGA. So, yeah, not too much else to show you without actually ripping it apart, but it looks like it should work as advertised. Okay, so next up, it came with a stack of drives here. I detect a bunch of spinning disks. Let's see exactly what came in this. Of course, yours may vary depending on how you order it. Okay. Looks like a bunch of 1 terabyte Western Digital Reds. Very nice, very nice. And, of course, a very nice caddy to throw them in. And inserting them should be just as simple as this. Okay. Oh, helps I put it in the right slot. There we go. Okay. Well, there you go. First drive is inserted. So obviously I'm not going to put all these in right now, but you can imagine what it would look like. It's the same as for all of them. But really quick, let's actually go through some of the specs of this. So, of course, IX Systems just sent this over to me today, and was really looking forward to trying it. I'm going to be firing this up here probably tonight or tomorrow morning because it's getting late here. But this looks like a pretty nice little unit. So, first of all, just to make you drool, because you got to have all the gory stats. So, of course, it has a remote power on and off. UPS signal responses and alerts. Awesome. We have hot swappable drives. That's all these guys, of course. Bad block scans. We have smart testing, ISO mounting support, and hardware accelerated disk encryption. Of course, that's the jelly stuff. And AES-NI. 8-bay enclosure, super quiet design. I'm just kind of going through the spec sheet. You can see this on ixsystems.com on their website. They'll have it under the FreeNAS Mini section. And of course, it's an 8-core, wow, 8-core, 2.4 gigahertz Intel CPU, of course, with AES-NI, so that's your encryption acceleration. 32 gigs of DDR3 with ECC, and they have an optional upgrade to 64 gigs as well. So if you're planning on running some services and jails and whatnot, man, that sucker is really going to scream. So of course, RAID, it's your typical RAID Z1, RAID Z2. You can use ZFS mirrors, ZFS Stripe, so pretty standard FreeNAS stuff there. And what about networking? So we have 2 gigabit Ethernet ports, and then a dual port upgrade to a 10 gigabit Ethernet is optional, and of course a dedicated IPMI port. So that's what that sucker was on the back there. And then we got 8 SATA 3.5 hot swappable drive bays, and then there's 2 internal SATA 2.5 internal drive bays. So I imagine that's where you're going to throw like your ZIL or your ARC, which of course that's what it mentions here next is you have your read cache, your L2 ARC, which is optional, which of course is going to boost your performance by giving you that SSD-backed read cache. And then the ZIL is going to allow you to boost performance on certain types of writes where you have a high-performance write cache. Power supply, of course, this will run pretty much anywhere, 100 to 240 volts AC, 50-60 hertz single phase, so yes, you can use it in Japan, you're good to go there. Power consumption, wow, a whopping 37 to 47 watts, depending on how you have it configured, which, yeah, there's no reason you couldn't just let one of these guys run. That's less than an old school 60-watt light bulb. So pretty stinking cool. Of course, it has the FreeNAS web interface and remote hardware management and all that built right in. And we have the dimensions here. So it's roughly 8.5 wide by about 11 inches deep. So we'll call it, a little less than a foot. And of course, 15.1 inches high. So a little taller than the old unit, so if you're going to tuck it under your desk, maybe measure, make sure you'll have room under there. So I probably won't be putting my feet on this one, a little too tall, but pretty cool. So weight, without the drives, it was actually 23 pounds without any of the drives in it, and of course these will add a little bit of weight, and of course IX is going to back it with a 1-year warranty, and pretty much it comes with everything you see here. But let me take a look at the accessories box real quick before I get too carried away, just to see what else came with it. So, of course, Ethernet cable, power cables, some extra screws, and then the FreeNAS Mini Getting Started guide, your quick start guide here. And of course, they have a nice picture of the Mini XL and then the old school Mini as well, with detailed instructions on how to get it set up. Looks like, just some front panel information here, what the back panel ports all are. And then, of course, how to get set up with the FreeNAS software once you get it booted up, which should be preloaded on there for you. So darn, I mean, this is just a great weekend project. Look, let your wife, let your significant other, your spouse know right now that you want one of these badly. This is a great birthday present, great Christmas present, or, if it's any day of the year, just a great Merry Xmas in general. So I highly recommend it. I love these little units. These are fantastic. Of course, if you've been a FreeNAS fan for a while, you're very familiar with what it supports, but everything from NFS to Samba to CIFS, FTP, iSCSI, I mean, they have a whole list of services here, and that's been no surprise if you've been a listener to BSD Now for any time now, you know about all that. But definitely check it out, and we were really excited to be able to bring you this unboxing video. And once we get it plugged in, I'll be talking about it more on upcoming episodes of BSD Now for sure, just letting you know how it's working and kind of giving you some feedback as we go with it. So thanks for watching, of course. Really appreciate it, and we'll see you again soon.